The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Podcast Network is brought to you by Call Sheet. Make real money predicting sports. Call Sheet is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free when you use promo code SGPN. That is Call Sheet promo code SGPN. Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guy. It's me, really Ralph, for the Ralph Terrell, Furman Jr. here at your service. Great day for the pod yesterday. Great overall day. All the reads are right. We made the right picks. I was laughed at making my lock, and oh my Lord. Woo! Utah goes out there as 13.5-point dogs and wins outright, plus 50 on the money line. Also got Indiana plus 190 against the Boston Celtics. Indiana's got their third win in a row. Double lock the under in the Philadelphia 76ers and Toronto Raptors game. And I mean, it was just pure basketball guides for how that didn't go over with how Philly was scoring in that first half. Defense was great, but Philly was scoring. It's okay. I was not the only one. Great day. Scott Studio Reichel also had a great day. Scott Studio, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, also ended up sweeping. That was definitely a good episode as we won everything. For the lock, I had the Mavericks minus 3.5. Nets still can't win a back-to-back, so that worked out well. And then for the dog, I had the Clippers 1-10, and they won by 8. So can't complain. Of course, we had the bonus lock with the 76ers under, which somehow got there. Not going to ask questions, just going to take the money and run. But good episode. Once again, we got everything right. So, yeah, can't complain. As a Nets fan, I know my team, and they're really bad on back-to-backs. So Mavericks came through. You might not like the team. That's fine. But Dallas is still okay at home, and the Nets are still auto fades and back-to-backs. So, once again, Great episode. We'll keep it rolling.
Yeah, very, very good episode. Let's go. Tuesday, January 13th. Ooh, Reds Day. We've got no games at 7 p.m. here on a Tuesday, but the first game does tip off at 7:30. We'll get to that in just a second, but I got to remind everybody, new year, new gear. Make sure you go over there to the SGPN merch store because we got a whole bunch of new items for the new year, and you can get 10% off those new items and every other item in the merch store if you head over there and use promo code 2026. That is 2026. Just like that, you can get 10% off everything in our merch store. Go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. All right. Yeah, it was a really good day. Let's see here. Phoenix on the road. Going to play the Miami Heat. We're at 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast. Heat laying 1.5 at home. 230.5 is total. Injury report. And we have for this Phoenix Suns team, it looks like they are going to be relatively healthy. Jalen Green, only notable name that's actually playing minutes up here. And Miami Heat, Norman Powell is questionable for the game, but that is it. Nothing else on the report for the Miami Heat. All right, Scott. Miami's playing. First thing I looked at is that Miami is laying 1.5 points. That automatically throws me on the Phoenix Suns side of the ball. But what I will say is that there was a good chance that I was going to like Suns regardless.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
We're talking about the best team ATS in the league. Miami's no slouch themselves, ATS. I'll give them that, but it's because they have a system. Duh, they're always decent ATS.
Well, Miami's been
Solid
quite bad
system.
lately too. Miami was in free fall, then they ended up winning 4 in a row, and since then they've lost 4 to 5. They lost to Minnesota. They beat New Orleans. Congrats, I guess. New Orleans stinks. Lost to Minnesota again. Had a postponement against Chicago. Played Indiana, lost by 24, and played the Thunder, lost by 12. So I understand that those were all road games, but the point is Miami has, the first Timberwolves game was a home game, and the New Orleans game was a win at home. After that, the last 3 games were just road blowouts where they lost by double digits. But, I mean, do you think Miami's good? Because I think Miami's a pretty average basketball team. By all accounts, Phoenix is actually pretty good at basketball, and they have a better record than the Rockets by comparison. So I understand that Miami at home has been quite good this season. They are 13-6 straight up at home. Phoenix is only 10-10. But Norman Powell's leading the team in points, and he might not play in this game. So we'll see if he ends up going. But either way, I like Phoenix. Phoenix has won 3 in a row. They're playing good basketball. And Miami, we've seen over the last couple of weeks, if not months, this team is just very streaky. They'll lose 6 of 7. They'll win 4 in a row. They'll lose 5 of 6. They just really bounce back and forth between being good and being terrible. And right now they're terrible. So I'll go for Phoenix on the money line. As a slight dog price, you might be able to find even money, maybe a plus 105. But I don't trust Miami at all right now. Phoenix is objectively a solid team because they play hard and they play good defense. And Miami, we know defensively can be very, very up and down. So I'll go for Phoenix at what I think is a good number. You could argue they should be favored in this game.
No, they should not be favored because then Miami will win. They should do exactly what they're doing now, is keep them as a dog. The Phoenix Suns are 9-1 ATS in their last 10 games, 5-0 straight up in their last 5, 13-7 on the road ATS this season, 28-11, the best record ATS in the entire league. And add in the fact that they play defense. And I think that is the big part of this team that Jordan Ott has turned around, is what they're able to do defensively over the last 5 games. They're number 1 rated defense and been able to really, really take a lot of teams out of the game. Now, will they score a bunch of points all the time? No. Sometimes it's just the Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker show. But at the very least is that they have that solid foundation of they're not about to let you go up there and run the score up on them. And they really don't allow a lot of teams. Listen to these numbers. I mean, I know some of these teams aren't the best teams in the league, but 93 points to Washington, 107 versus the New York Knicks. You got 98 to Memphis, 100 to the Houston Rockets in a loss, and 105 to OKC. And what was a win? Like, this team knows how to get after on that side of the ball. They're really good on the offensive glass as well. I think that'll be an angle where we'll be looking at this Heat team like, hey, can you keep them off the offensive glass with Bam, with Ware? Can you keep them down in that aspect? Not necessarily sure. And then the pace that the Miami Heat run so fast, I expect there to be a lot of turnovers, and the team can turn the ball over. 3rd in turnover rate forced over the last 5 games. This Miami Heat team is towards the bottom of the league in their turnover rate. So I think that the Phoenix Suns are going to be able to defend Miami at the rim. I think they're going to be able to grab boards off the glass, and then also force this team into turnovers and get out in transition and get some easy buckets for themselves. So it's all, I mean, everything plus the fact that Miami is a favorite here, it all adds up, especially a home favorite. So it all adds up. Give me the Phoenix Suns plus 1.5 money line, like all of it.
Yeah, I do want to ask you a question, though. Phoenix in the division. Do you want to guess how many games behind the Lakers they are for first place?
Last I checked, they were like right around each other. So what, like 1?
No, the answer is 0. They're tied for first place.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I felt like they were right next to each other.
I'm saying, like, don't look now. Phoenix can definitely win this division. Like, they are very live to win this. This team's pretty good.
They potentially could dethrone the Rockets as the 4th best team in the West.
Yeah. I still think long-term, this team's going to need more scoring. But for the sake of regular season, I don't want to compare it to like a Thibodeau team, but the argument is if they're just going to outwork you in every single game, you're going to be live to win a bunch of games. And it feels like Phoenix outworks and out-hustles almost every team in the league on a night-in, night-out basis. That's how it feels.
6-7. All right. 230.5 is total. Give me the under. I think this is going to be about Phoenix's defense more than Miami's offense.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go with Miami team total under instead, because Miami has been handing out 120 to everybody recently. But as you mentioned before, the Suns' defense has been incredible. And I think it's correlated, because if the Suns are going to win this game, their defense has to travel. So I don't mind the Heat team total under about 116.5, give or take. Like, I think that number's a bit high. I'll go with the Heat team total under.
All right. Let's see here. Next game up, we've got San Antonio Spurs on the road going to play. Oh, guess who? The Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC's laying 7.5. 229.5 is total. Injury report. And we have for these two teams, it looks like Devin Vassell out for the San Antonio Spurs. Isaiah Hartenstein out for OKC. All right, well, I learned my lesson. Spurs plus 7.5.
Yeah, I'm not going to overthink this at all. The Spurs have owned this team. Forget the points. They've won all these games outright. I think that they are just a really bad matchup for OKC. I know that as we watched it unfold on Christmas, again, for the third time in the span of a week and a half, give or take, It really encouraged me to tweet about OKC needing to hit the Giannis button. And I still think OKC is going to need some reinforcements for the playoffs. I don't like the supporting cast three-point shooting. I'm not a fan of really how this team matches up to the physicality that these Spurs have. And a reminder, Wemby was on a minute restriction for all those games. And they still went 3-0 against OKC. So I don't like this matchup at all. Even if you think OKC wins, then maybe 1-10. But if you think I'm taking OKC to win by actual margin, you're out of your mind at this point. Like, they might pull it off if they just show up for a game and try to have a chip on their shoulder. But the Spurs seem to really just love this matchup, and they've exploited this matchup all season. So give me the Spurs plus 7.5. They can win the game outright. Again, this wouldn't shock me. But the fact is, you have Fox healthy, you have Castle healthy, you have Wemby healthy, and that might be enough. So even though Vassell's out, no offense to a guy that I know you like on this team, I do think the Spurs' overall depth and physicality should be enough in this game. Give me the Spurs plus 7.5.
Yeah, OKC has not been great over these stretch of games. 0-5 ATS in their last 5 games. They have been rebounding the basketball horribly defensively. They're questionable at times.
I almost lost to Utah at home. Like, I don't know if this means anything with them being at home anymore. This team just has not been very good for the last month. They've not been horrible, but they were on pace to set the wins record. And they've been kind of just, how would you describe it? An average team for the last month? That's what it feels like, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like, something's just missing. Like, they hit that wall. You know, teams kind of, every team kind of hits that wall at some point in the season. They just got to get over it, and then they probably are good again. It feels like they've hit that.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they've hit a wall of some kind. I know if you want to push back and say that Giannis does not answer their problems and they need an actual shooter, that's fine. The point I was trying to make, though, is that there needs to be some type of urgency from OKC. And Presti, who I know, of course, built this entire core, won a championship, ended up creating one of the only potential dynasties we have in the league right now. At some point, you are going to have to trade some of your picks, cash in on some of them to get yourself some reinforcements. This team, as of right now, based on how they're currently constructed, I don't know if they're good enough to win the Western Conference. They might still be, but the fact that there's a question and you have all these resources says you got to try something. Because right now, watching Caruso and Dort jack up three-pointers all the time is not good enough. You need better shooting. So that's my main concern, which I hope that Presti addresses for the deadline. Something's missing with this team, as you mentioned a second ago. And until they fully address it, I'm not going to pick them to beat a team that has killed them all season long.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Ortiz, San Antonio native. We don't hear that often on this show, but he said OKC -8 against the team they never beat this season. Absolutely not. Wemby reminds Chet who his father is every time they play.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to be, and without Isaiah Hartenstein, they're going to have to rely on Chet a lot. All right. Yeah, it was pretty simple. I wasn't taking OKC again in this matchup. I'm not really laying any points with OKC until they figure it out. But I won't fault them for their last time because they were laying 15 points against Miami. Like, there was no shot you were covering that.
And that game, they did end up winning by 12 and all. But until the Thunder flip a switch, they're still being priced like they're still, on pace for the wins record. And I feel like the sports books haven't adjusted to reality. Like, if they were laying 8 maybe a month and a half ago, sure. But when you're looking at what they've done so far in January, I think 8's just an absurd spread.
Yeah. 229 and a half is total.
I mean, if you want to argue the Spurs can win this game outright, that's worth the under or the over because they played 3 times this season. Spurs won all 3, and 2 of the 3 games landed below 221. So I guess I'm on the under. You?
It feels a little easy, but yeah.
Okay.
It does. It feels like it's depending on OKC just kind of waking up defensively enough.
Yeah.
Maybe Spurs team total over.
I'll just go with the game under and call it a day. But I don't know if I'm going to bet that, but based on the head-to-head numbers, I think that number's a bit high.
All right. Before we get to the next game on the slate, got to talk to everybody about AVO. Hey, AVO, best place to go get your sports betting tools, help you be able to make a profit. They do this by sparking arbitrage and plus EB opportunities for you, give you a chance to lock in both sides of a bet and secure a profit. This is for all those people that say, hey, I got to go out and I got to get a win. Well, you can lock in both sides. They'll let you know what the best opportunities in the market are. And then you'll have a chance to, doesn't matter what happens during the game, you walk out with cash. Cleanest dashboard, super easy to understand. Go lock in. Check out their free Discord as well, AVO Official, at AVO Official, AVO Official, and see the success people are having for themselves using this platform. So get started now at avo.bet, avo.bet, and use promo code SGPN for $18 off. Yes, that is avo.bet, promo code SGPN for $18 off. We're also brought to you by Kalshi Real Money Prediction Market, legal in all 50 states. In all 50 states, you can trade a whole bunch of stuff. You could have traded the Golden Globes that happened the other night. You could trade NFL. You could trade all of that stuff, even the weather. You can do everything you want to do over there at Kalshi. Go check it out. Look at all the options that are available to you. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That is Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Luis, welcome. You missed the Spurs talk. I'm not the Spurs talk, the Suns talk. I just threw the first S word that I was thinking of. You missed the Suns talk. We are on the Suns, though. You're welcome. Chicago Bulls on the road. Going to play the Houston Rockets. The Rockets laying 13.5. 224.5 is total. Injury report, and we have for these two teams, it looks like Julian Phillips is probable. Kobe White and Josh Giddey, however, are both out. And Zach Collins is still out. Torrey Eason is out for the Houston Rockets. Dorian Finney-Smith, Fred VanVleet out, of course. All right. Well,
we know the Bulls are injured, but based on what you've seen from Houston, do you want to take a chance and lay 13.5? Because I don't think I'm ready to do that.
I don't know. This Bulls team without Kobe White and Josh Giddey is really, really bad.
Oh, they're bad. Like, I'm not denying that, but it really comes down to if you think Houston, I know Şengün's a big piece on this team, so I understand that there is a little bit of injury excuse. Is this team broken to you? Because watching this team self-destruct in fourth quarters against Sacramento and having Durant tantrums on the bench, doesn't it kind of feel like this team is on the fritz? Because it feels that way watching them play.
I mean, they're just trying to figure it out because Şengün's not playing and they're losing. I'm not really like holding them too far. Like, I'm not holding that against them too much. But yeah, I think that Şengün just means a lot to this team, and the Houston Rockets are not the same team without him because he's legitimately their best player. A lot of teams aren't good without their best player. Like, I can name a bunch of teams that would probably look like shit without their best players. So I am not necessarily saying that it's the Rockets overall, even though I do think that the Rockets are hard, fast, locked into their fate of they're more than likely the fourth or fifth best team in the West, and that's probably as far as they'll ever get. But this Bulls team is horrible without Kobe White and Josh Giddey. Like, I mean, the Pistons beat them, this same roster beat them without Cade Cunningham, and Isaiah Stewart had 31 points. And now you're going into the game against Kevin Durant, against Jabari Smith Jr., and against who else?
Alma.
Yeah, you're going to have to worry about Steven Adams on the glass. Like, Vucevic is not being serious doing anything, honestly. He just says, I'm going to go get my 18 to 20, and that's really it. Like, so, yeah. And then I didn't even see. Yeah, I think I'm going to lay it. Yeah, because I mean, Chicago, there's literally, like, tell me one good thing you've seen of Chicago from this lineup where Kobe White was actually, like, not playing. I mean, they haven't done anything good.
Like, I actually watched a decent amount of that Pistons game, and they were winning for part of it. DeSumo actually had a solid game, and they completely fell apart in the second half. The Bulls did end up beating the Mavericks last game. Kobe White had 22 points. So, once again, as you mentioned before, he will not be
literally
playing.
Carried them to the game. Like, and Şengün is probably going to play in this game. So, I'm more than likely Şengün is coming back in this game. I'm almost positive he's coming back in this game.
Well, yeah, Şengün came back against the Kings, and they still lost.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to immediately assume that a Şengün return is automatically going to result in a winning cover.
They just gave Beef Stew 31 points, and you're telling me you got to go up against KD, Şengün, Jabari Smith Jr., freaking Steven Adams on the glass. It's like 4 7-footers right there.
No, that's the play for me. The play for me is going to be Şengün points. I'd rather go for some props in this game, but I don't really want to lay 13.5 with Houston. I thought about the over, but I'm not sure if Chicago can score against this team. So I'll put it this way. I understand why the Rockets are laying 13.5. Chicago is very, very shorthanded, and we've seen them with their backcourt consisting of DeSumo and basically Trey Jones, and it's just not good enough, if we're being honest here. So I think Houston probably should cover. Would I pick them to? No, but instead I'll pivot because we've seen how bad Houston's been in fourth quarters. Give me Houston first half in this game. Houston, after getting their ass kicked by Sacramento, shows up with a purpose early on. They go up 20. Will they punt it in the fourth quarter? We'll see. But I do think they'll go up early in this game. I'll go Houston first half.
Yeah. I'll lay it with Houston. I'll lay the chalk. This team isn't a real team without Kobe White and Josh Giddey playing. So
I think if Houston's going to cover, they have to come out strong.
And Houston is way better with Şengün, and it's going to go back to they either lose a close game or they blow teams out. So, yeah.
Once again, I've seen enough of Houston's offense in the fourth quarter to avoid putting my money on them for a full game here, but I'll go for the first half.
All right. 224 is the total, 224.5.
Do you think Houston potentially walks into 130? Because if you do, you're probably taking the over.
Yeah, but I mean, they could get like to 120, but it's more of what is Chicago doing on their end. Like, Chicago legitimately might just punt this game. I mean, why would you not? You're on the road in Houston. You go to Houston, want to turn up. You don't want to go to Houston and get your ass whooped. So I could see angles for an under. Probably a total that I wouldn't bet.
Yeah, I'm on the under as well. 6 straight games below 217. So either the defense is really good or the offense stinks, or both. Yeah, the Rockets have had 6 straight games below 217. So I'll go with the under with you, but once again, not an amazing game on the card.
All right. Let's see here. What's next on the docket? We are still in the 8 p.m. window here. Denver Nuggets on the road going to play the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans catching 2.5 at home. Nice home dog there, plus 2.5. 233.5 is the total. Injury report. Jamal Murray questionable. Aaron Gordon's probable. Spencer Jones is probable. Christian Brown is out. Cam Johnson is out. Jokic Valanciunas is out. Sadiq Bey is questionable. Herb Jones is out. Jose Alvarado's out. Well, the injury report does mean a lot in this game. It probably is going to be the deciding factor of who's actually going to end up taking this game or not. Sign me up for Aaron Gordon props. And he just carries the team today, especially driving against whoever he wants inside of the painted area. He really shouldn't have any resistance there. I actually skipped the game, my bad. And then make sure I go back to that.
I don't know if you skipped one. We're still in the 8 o'clock.
No, we're still in the 8 o'clock window. It's technically not a skip yet, but it was above my chart here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It comes down to Murray for me. If Murray plays, give me Denver. If Murray sits, give me the New Orleans. I think it's as simple as that.
I think that's what it is too. Murray probably pushes them over the top, and they're still able to go out there and get a win. I don't really know who they have out there that's really going to guard him. Very close game they played against the Milwaukee Bucks. I understand why the line is this low, but if you tell me Jamal Murray plays, definitely Denver. Yeah. If not, it's definitely more ambiguous. So,
and Aaron Gordon being back does help defensively because he's probably getting the Zion matchup. So at least you have somebody who can try to stay in front of him. So that's an option for you defensively. But I'll go with Denver once again if Murray plays. If not, then give me New Orleans. But if Denver ends up having no Murray in this game, I don't know what they're supposed to do. I see J-Main mentioning that Peyton Watson could be an option for a double-double. Sure. I mean, they need somebody to score points and rebound. Aaron Gordon would be an undersized center if that's what they want to do, since both Joker and Valanciunas are out. Do we see more Zeke Naji? Maybe. I don't know what the hell Denver's going to do, but this team's extremely injured. So, yeah, once again, Murray plays, give me Denver. Murray doesn't play, give me New Orleans. Do we see eye to eye on that?
I think who would be aggressive if these guys didn't play?
Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Probably so. Yeah, he'd probably be rather aggressive. Bruce Brown likes to drive to the rim, and I'll at least give him that. Is that driving to the rim on this New Orleans team, you're not going to get any resistance from Derek Queen. So that could open things up for you. You could have, a nice little game. All right. Yeah, it's simple. We told you. Murray plays Denver. If not, I guess New Orleans.
Yep.
All right. Next game up. Minnesota on the road. Going to play the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks laying 3.5. 226.5 is the total. Injury report for this Minnesota Timberwolves team. Rudy Gobert suspended because he's got too many flagrant foul points. Now, is he going to be dealing with this the rest of the season?
I don't remember how it exactly works when it comes to once you get suspended. I know you don't get suspended for every other flagrant, so I'm trying to remember what the gap is in between suspensions, but yeah, he just has to stop trying to kill people, and he'll be able to play every game. So we'll see how Gobert takes it. But, yeah, he's earned that suspension. He's got a bunch of flagrants so far this season. Anthony
Edwards is also out.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's why Milwaukee's favored in this game.
Miles Turner questionable. Torian Prince out. Yeah, so, what happens with Minnesota? I mean, we've seen those games where, and I don't think Milwaukee is this unbeatable team where, you don't have your star player and these guys can't figure it out for a game.
Yeah.
But one side has Giannis and the other doesn't.
I mean, there's no way that I'm going to take Milwaukee in this game. Even though Minnesota's shorthanded and all, do you trust Milwaukee enough to lay 3.5? Even with Giannis, who's been scoring the ball well lately, he really has not been rebounding the ball for the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's happening with Giannis rebounds, but they have been very underwhelming. Even the blocks haven't been that great recently. So I don't really understand what Doc Rivers is doing. I get the idea conceptually of the Porter Jr. and Rollins backcourt, but I don't think they work well together at all. I think Minnesota, with Randall having the keys, with DiVincenzo, with Naz Reid, Minnesota still has guys who can give you buckets even without Anthony Edwards playing. And Gobert has been great recently. I will acknowledge it. He's been really good this season. But we have seen in the past Minnesota's been able to step up when he doesn't play. And hopefully Naz Reid has himself a game. But Minnesota's not dead in this game. Minnesota still has talent on the roster. And we know Milwaukee, yes, they beat the Lakers. So did Sacramento. But they beat the Lakers in a nice win on the road. This team's still not very good. I don't trust them laying 3.5. Do you? I think Minnesota's got enough talent to find a way to win a road game. I'll go for Minnesota.
I do not think that I trust Minnesota without Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
Now,
they played it for a week. What was it, a week or two without him? A couple weeks ago, and they were okay when Ant was injured. They weren't that bad.
No, they were actually very solid. They're 3-0 on the road, but they played Charlotte, Brooklyn, Golden State.
I remember the Golden State game. Gobert went crazy in that one, but of course he's not playing. I get why Milwaukee's favored. I just think Minnesota has enough to make this game very competitive. That's where I'm at.
So my issue here is defensively, if they continue to allow 120.6 points per game on the road, as they've been doing in their last 5 road games.
Can they score enough without Ant to actually win the game?
Because Ant's going to give you 31.8 on the road this season. And that's no longer accounted for. And so if you're allowing Milwaukee to just go out there and score, are you going to have the wherewithal and be able to keep up against the Milwaukee team that I understand they haven't been playing great ball, but they haven't been playing horrible ball. They literally do what Milwaukee does, and they win their games here or there. They lose their games here or there. I just think this is a win for them. So
Sure.
Give me the Bucks, laying 3.5 here at home. I am fading Minnesota as an underdog, 2-5 this season. I'm also going to fade them without Ant on the road. They're 8-11 on the road.
I just don't trust Milwaukee enough.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 different ideologies there. Both of us not trusting the other team because I am not a believer in Minnesota at all.
I don't know if I'm a believer in them long term, but they're still better than Milwaukee. But I do think Randall and Reid has been a guy who I think people were expecting more from this season. I wouldn't say he's been bad, but I think people were expecting Reid to be a little bit more of a force on a regular basis. He's averaging 14.5 points per game, so he has been solid, but I feel like people haven't noticed how good he's been lately. So after people were kind of disappointed by how he played for the first couple months, he's picked it up. He had 17-11 against San Antonio. He had 25 points against Cleveland. He had 14-6 against Miami. I think he could step in and have maybe 18-7. I can see that happening. So, yeah, once again, we're just going to disagree on this game.
Yeah. All right. How much? 226.5. I don't have any thoughts.
I got nothing for this.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll go under, but whatever.
Maybe over because I could see no rim protection. I could see Giannis have a big game. I could see Bobby Portis having a big game. Ryan Rollins loves to drive to the rim. I could see him having a pretty solid game. I can see Naz Reid, you just talking about having a good game on the other side. Julius Randle. So I could see some points being scored. And
it sounds correlated, though, because since you like Milwaukee and you're questioning Minnesota's defense, you like the over. But since I like Minnesota, I'm not picking this team to score 125 without Ant. So I think we just have a different correlated parlay, basically, for this game.
Yeah. All right. Atlanta. Wait, before we talk about Atlanta, gotta talk to the people about
It's Underdog.
Underdog. Make sure you go over there 5,000 times your entry over there, Underdog Fantasy. Plus, they're bringing the playoff magic all NFL playoffs long. You can open up the Underdog app and see what promos are waiting for you in the NFL. But hey, you don't just have to tackle the NFL. Shout out to San Francisco Niner in the chat for his 49ers getting the dub over the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles fly on the path to victory.
It's pretty crazy. The Niners have no players left, and they're still winning playoff games. It's really crazy.
I mean, your Eagles offense.
My Eagles offense.
I'm talking to Sean.
I'm just saying, that's not to me. I'm not an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I'm talking to Sean in case Sean might be listening. Your Eagles offense scored 19 points in a playoff game. And you had to go win against a team that has no linebackers. The guys that play linebackers for 49ers didn't start the season playing linebacker for them. They were actually bagging groceries.
They gave up 100+ yards to Demarcus Robinson. That's tough. It's a tough look.
Very, very tough stuff. Underdog. Brand new customers play just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBASGPN. Make sure you go over there, NBASGPN. We'll do an Underdog lineup at the end of the show. Rhythm. Crushed the NFL this season, especially on the props. 22-12 on reception props last playoffs, 6-1 on passing touchdown props last playoffs. Very, very good. Make sure you go check them out this playoff. See what they have going on in the NFL. See what they got going on in the NBA. We're still cooking. They got stuff in college basketball as well. So head over there, run the models off the house models, or make your own models and play around with the sliders and figure out what works for you and just start cashing with Rhythm. Want to go premium? Then use that promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app. Get 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. Let's see here. Next game up on the docket. Atlanta Hawks on the road going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. The Hawks are laying 3.5. 231.5 is the total injury report, and we have for these two teams. What is that? Oh, is this an Avengers Doomsday trailer? Oh, I think it is.
You're more locked into that universe than I am.
I have to go back and look at that. What? Wait, what? Wait, define that. Define me being more locked in. Like, are you not locked in at all?
Not even close. No.
Wow, really?
I've never seen Endgame. I've never seen any of these. I've never seen it.
What?
No.
Are you not a superhero guy?
Not really. I want to say that I saw Age of Ultron. That was the first.
But like, just overall, you're just not a superhero guy overall. Like, that's
not really. I've watched some of it. Like, I've seen Deadpool. I've seen some of the Batman movies, whatever. Some of them, but yeah, I never even saw The Dark Knight Rises. Like, I'm like, wait.
What?
I know. I've seen The Dark Knight. I have not seen Dark Knight Rises. Like, I'm way out of that universe. It's just not for me. But yeah,
that's not what for one. That's not the same universe. But what? The Dark Knight Rises is just an overall good movie.
I know it is, and I know Bane's is a like incredible villain. I'm just not locked in.
All right, yeah, no, Scott, 100% not a superhero guy.
I'm not like anti. I'm just not fully invested in all the lore and all the 3-hour movies that they have combined. I'm just not into it.
Is it 3 hours?
It feels that way.
It can feel a little bit long at times.
See, Luis is mentioning Blade. Yeah, I love Blade, but that's like 90s. That's not what he's talking about. He's mentioning a full-on, the recent resurgence, basically. I love Blade. Blade's a great movie, but that's not exactly what he's talking about. Even though Blade did make a comeback in one of the Deadpool movies,
yes,
it's not really the same.
Okay. So Atlanta's laying 3.5 because Luka hurt his groin in his thigh yesterday in the first leg of a back-to-back.
I prefer the term carrying the team. They lost the game, but he had 40 points in 3 quarters. Like, he tried his best, but it didn't matter.
So you got probably no Luka here. And then you have LeBron James, who said his status for back-to-backs is the exact same thing that he said about back-to-backs in New Orleans. The thing he said about back-to-backs in New Orleans is every back-to-back for the rest of the season is TBD. I am 41. I got the most minutes in NBA history. Bank it right now. So
He's
LeBron
not
James, TBD.
TBD. Okay. He's not playing.
So this is why Atlanta's laying 3.5. Potentially the bootlickers for the Lakers playing in this one. Oh, Atlanta's injury report, because Atlanta also has players that are playing in the game. Duh. The Atlanta Hawks injury report looks like Zachariah Richardson, questionable. Luke Kennard, questionable. Asa Noel, questionable. Kristaps Porzingis, out.
That's the big one, because Porzingis has been very good defensively for that team. That's the big one.
So here we go. Atlanta on the road, laying 3.5 in LA.
I bet this overnight. I got Atlanta. Yeah. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. You could argue that maybe it's a step-up spot where the supporting
Is
cast...
Jalen Johnson the best player on the court?
Definitely, by a mile in this game. Assuming that Luka and LeBron are going to sit, which I'm assuming is going to happen. Mm-hmm. LeBron basically said publicly, I'm almost in line for Social Security, so why would I play a back-to-back? That's basically what he said. As for Luka, he's... Not
going to lie, like, when you think about it, if LeBron, like, military, LeBron's retired. Especially if he went into the military at 18. That's 20 years. He's retired.
Like, if he's a teacher, he's got pension. So you get what I'm trying to say.
23 years in any profession is enough to get you a pension.
Yeah, but LeBron answering that question in that form, in that fashion to the media tells me he's definitely taking a nap in this game. And as for Luka, he is always injured. It's why he'll never win MVP. It's, once again, why I've never given him out to win MVP. But I do think you'd agree after dropping 40 and change yesterday, the immediate report is he's injured and he's uncertain to play. Not a good sign. Not to mention the fact this team stinks and they can't guard anybody. So Atlanta traded away Trae Young. They've been good since. I understand that you could argue it's a letdown spot where maybe Atlanta goes in thinking they have a free win and maybe the Lakers step up and do something. But on a back-to-back with not really travel because they played in Sacramento, but playing a back-to-back is not exactly the spot you're looking for. Atlanta's won 3 in a row. They beat a very hot Golden State team handily. Golden State was in good form. They went into Golden State and they won by 13. So I'm going to go with the Hawks here. I think once LeBron and potentially Luka get ruled out, this line's going to fly. I think the Hawks are going to close closer to 5.5, 6.5 for me once the injury report is finalized. I got the Hawks laying 3.5. This line feels very short.
I don't think the line's going to move that much. I think this is basically what they're saying, that LeBron and Luka are expected to be out, so we're making the Hawks 3.5-point favorites. So maybe like more people bet it and get some move before, but I don't think it'll really do that much. I do think that there is that big of a gap between the Hawks and the Lakers, though. I will that the Hawks and the Lakers without LeBron James and Luka Doncic, there is a larger than 6-point gap. It's just that's the point of, hey, that is where we're going to be right and the books are going to be wrong, and they're going to set this line way too low, and we have no choice but to take the Hawks here.
But what is the Lakers' move here when it comes to points? They're going to let Ayton try to do something on a back-to-back. You're going to give Marcus Smart some run. Laravia, maybe? I mean, Gabe Vincent. What are you supposed to do? Hope Rui gives you 30? You don't really have any scoring on this team. We didn't even mention Reeves is still hurt. So the Lakers might be missing their 3 best players. That is just not good enough.
Yep. And Jalen Johnson, best player on the court. Think Atlanta's offense is going to roll. They'll be good. The defense may sputter for a second, but like it's not like the Lakers have anybody that can really take an advantage. So I'm not even concerned. Like this is Atlanta all the way for me.
I want to ask you. I know that we already agreed just to kind of hammer home the point. assuming Luka and LeBron and, of course, Reeves are not playing in this game, Jalen Johnson, number one player in this game. Who's number two? Is it Okonkwo? Is it Dyson Daniels? Does Atlanta have the three best players in this game?
Potentially.
It's definitely there's potential there. So, yeah, I'll go for Atlanta.
And I think people are going to come back and see the Lakers as a dog and bet them. And probably a good part of them are probably just NFL. Like, those football watchers that bet the NBA because it's on and they really don't know what's going on. So they don't even realize that Luka and LeBron are playing. They just see Lakers and dog and be like, what? And bet Lakers? No, Atlanta.
Well, you also have contrarian bettors who are going to see Atlanta getting a bunch of money and they'll take the Lakers and then nobody believes in this game. A reminder, by the way, that the public absolutely cleaned up this entire NFL weekend. So, maybe the public's on a bit of a hot streak. We'll see what happens, but I'll go for Atlanta.
Did you see the video of the little girl that picked every single game wrong?
No, I did not.
She did. She picked helmets and she picked every single game wrong. It was like for anybody, that's actually like really hard to do.
Well, you know what that means, right?
What?
She's starting a dub club.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's what that means.
Yeah, 100%. Surprised you didn't see it. It was a very funny video, and especially because the last leg was she picked the Steelers, and it was like like everybody knew how that was going to end.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, SF, just to comment on your last question, completely unrelated. He said he's going to hammer VJ Rookie of the Year. I would not do that if I was you. I don't think VJ is going to win. So I understand that VJ has been great recently. I get that for the Sixers, he's been incredible. I don't know how the voters are not just going to keep pumping the stock of Cooper Flag at this point. Flag's been really good. Knippel's been really good. What do you think? VJ's in third place right now?
Possibly. He would have been in first place, but, Paul George.
Yeah. I think Flag is going to run away with it personally, but I think VJ is, in my opinion, firmly behind Flag and Knippel right now. At least that's how I look at it. I don't remember what the price is for Flag. I want to say he was minus 700 last time. I looked at the actual pricing. I just think Flag's going to win. I think you'd need an injury in order to win that bet. Agree or disagree?
The thing that VJ has going for him is the fact that he is by far the most clutch rookie in terms of clutch time points. So that would be something that I would consider for him. But as of right now, no, I'd probably still give it to Flag. It's Paul George. Paul George taking away his shots really hurt.
I understand VJ's been very good, and if you want to go for 25-1, I understand it. But I wouldn't exactly hammer hit. If you want a flyer on it, sure. But there's a reason why Flag's minus 1,000 and Knippel's plus 900. It's because books are not letting you bet on both of them for guaranteed arbitrage money. One of them is going to win, unless there's an injury involved. So, yeah, once again, you can put a sprinkle on it, but I don't see VJ winning the award.
Great math lesson, Scott. Portland on the road, going to play the Golden State Warriors. Warriors laying 10.5. 227.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have Seth Curry, Grant doubtful, Abdia out, Chris Murray out, Scoot Henderson out, Matisse Thybulle out, Blake Wesley out. Well, they have Drew Holiday.
That's something. He's been out for what, 2 months?
Yeah. He came back, came off the bench. Golden State. How much do I trust Golden State?
Do you trust Portland at all with Noah Avdia?
I mean, we haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
This is the first game. So, this could be the game, the game after the game. Everybody shows up for a game, and then it looks completely down the rails after that. They have played Golden State pretty well this season. I know that first one was a back-to-back, but they've won 3 against them. So you got to give them credit for that. Golden State's now laying 10.5. And I get Abdia. I mean, what does this team look like without Denny Abdia for 48 minutes? I don't know.
You're expecting a lot of sharp shots, right? I mean, isn't that going to be your new main offensive weapon? I know Drew's going to try to be the floor general to operate, but we know Drew Holiday's willingness to shoot can be up and down, I'll say. So they probably need Sharp to carry the offense, because I'm reading off the starting lineup, or at least the projected starting lineup. It's not great from an offensive perspective. Holiday, Sharp, Kamara, Sissoko, and Klingon. So they really need Sharp to go for like 25 points. They really need him to have a great offensive game.
Yeah, give me the under for the game. I'll take Portland plus the points, but I don't like it. I mean, if Golden State went on a run and they just like Portland couldn't get no scoring going, I wouldn't be surprised. But I am not 100% confident laying this amount of points with Golden State against Portland, who's kind of had their number this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was trying to do an okie doke. I was trying to kind of switch, kind of just get some last second opinion change there. I was trying to set people up. Yeah. I'll go for Portland in this game. I understand that Golden State did cover against the Kings. They were in a war for a half and then blew them out by 30, which is pretty crazy. But during that game preview, I mentioned a Golden State rarely ever actually wins games by margin. Mm-hmm. And yes, they buried the Kings in that second half. It doesn't change the fact this team is still not very good at blowing teams out on a regular basis. They will let bad teams hang around all the time. And I think Portland defensively should not be very good, but still, with Holiday being back, with Klingon in the middle, I do think Portland can make this game competitive. I think the Warriors win, but I do think Sharp has a solid game. I do think Portland's defense can be underrated when you look at all the people they have now, with Holiday, with even Kamara, who's solid defensively, with Klingon. They can make Golden State work for their points, which I think is good enough for me. I'll go for Portland plus 10.5.
Yeah. All right. Portland plus points for me as well. A lot, dog, underdog.
No pressure, but we did win every pick yesterday.
No. Well, Phoenix is in there somewhere. See them minus 105, plus 1.5, minus 118. Yeah, just give me the Suns on money line for the lock. They get it done. Miami, solid team, but I'm all aboard the Suns bandwagon here. I think they get the win. For the dog, how do I want to play this?
San Antonio? Plus 270.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's really not. But just my luck, it'll be the last matchup. That's the one OKC wants to figure out. I will take... wow. Yeah, where's Şengün coming back? All right, boom. That makes the threshold too. Give me Şengün 25 plus points, plus 140.
That's solid. I like the match.
Made the threshold as a baby dog. I think Şengün's going to have a really solid game. They just gave up 31 in this same lineup to Beep Stew on the inside. And he was hitting threes. So Şengün can step outside and hit a couple of those as well. I will lock in. Give me Alperen Şengün plus 140, score 25 plus points. That's my dog.
Cool. For my lock, give me Atlanta minus 3.5.
That.
The Lakers might punt this entire game, but I still like Atlanta anyway. Atlanta, first meeting of the season, had the opposite situation where they sat everybody and the Lakers played everybody, and Atlanta still won by 20. So Atlanta, I think, is a bad matchup for the Lakers, especially on a back-to-back. Luke is banged up. LeBron is 95 years old, and Reeves is still out. I don't like this lineup at all. We saw the supporting cast yesterday do nothing with Laravio, with Smart. I don't like the supporting cast at all. Nobody does. Give me Atlanta. Once again, minus 3.5 as my lock for the show. For my dog, the price is too good. Give me the Spurs, plus 270. They're 3-0 against this team. Wemby's healthy. Fox is healthy. Castle's healthy. No Hartenstein. So you have less overall rim protection for OKC. And as we mentioned before, Wemby does own Chet. So, yeah, all the checks kind of go towards the Spurs boxes here. Give me the Spurs money line at plus 270.
All right. Underdog. I got Şengün higher 22.5 points in here.
Okay. Of course, I co-signed that. I thought about sharp points, but unfortunately, that's at 24.5.
Jalen Johnson.
So I don't know if I want it.
Some form of Jalen Johnson.
Oh, that's fine. Sure. Do you want to just do the RA in this
RA?
one? Yeah.
No Luka, no Braun. Yeah. 18.5.
That is high.
It's either 18.5 or 41.5 for the PRA. So we could have Lakers just not playing defense.
Yeah, I think we can go for just the 18.5. There is a chance Jalen has like a 13 rebound game, which helps out.
I think he could potentially have a triple-double in this one, so I'm not mad at it.
I think he can too.
All right, higher 18.5 RA for Jalen Johnson. We need one more.
Yeah, I'm trying to look to find one at this point. What else was there? Do you want to do Booker because we just think Miami defensively is not very good?
Yep.
Okay.
26.5. Cool.
Sure.
With that. I'm probably going to need it. Devin Booker higher 26.5 points. Alperen Şengün higher 22.5 points. And Jalen Johnson higher 18.5 rebound and assists. At an underdog, shake it up. It's going to be 6.3x. $100 gets $630 with their underdog fancy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. Fun episode. We'll back in tomorrow.
All right. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really real __. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA. YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Subscribe, comment, like all of that stuff. Like the video before you get up out of here. And if you're on podcast, or even if you're not on podcast, head over there to podcast. Give us a 5-star rating or review wherever you get your podcast. And with that, that is it, Scott. Nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just kind of like this. You know what? I hope the 49ers beat the Seahawks just because they beat the Eagles. We're out of here.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm